Let's bring in our friend Kash Patel, guys. Let's all talk to him and just do a quick audible here because we've got so much to cover. Kash, good morning. First of all, welcome back.
Hey, Kash.
Hey guys, happy birthday, Ed. I blasted it out on Truth Social. I won a meme war on Truth Social. I'm having a song competition on Truth Social. And the winner of the meme and song gets a free Fight with Kash Foundation merch package. So we're going big on this one.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Wow, I love that.
His merch is fabulous. And we're going to talk about Fight with Kash and your 501c3, your nonprofit, in just a minute. A couple quick investigative things. Let's put up A19. Sean Spicer put this out there, and it runs with what Tony Shaffer told us a couple of days ago, that this journalist is saying that not only do the Secret Service know whose fingerprints were on the cocaine at the White House, Kash, but we know whose prints are on the actual packet, and more reporting is forthcoming. And the White House wants all this to go away, of course, because they don't want it to blow up the plea deal that Hunter has negotiated in Delaware. You're a former federal prosecutor. What the heck is going on here? Secret Service said, we can't figure this out.
Well, the men and women who actually work at the Secret Service at the investigative level aren't the ones that are saying that. It's just like the FBI and DOJ. The leadership is destroying the credibility of the Secret Service by turning them into the most inept federal organization on Earth, literally. They're telling us we can't find out whose drugs this were with the most heavily fortified, secured compound on planet Earth, with the most cops, with the most law enforcement, with the most cameras, with the most investigative abilities. I think that tweeted truth is probably right. It's not hard to pull a fingerprint off something, a material like a plastic bag, because that's what actually gets good fingerprints, unlike a piece of wood. And I've gone up against that and defended it too many times in federal court. So I think they're onto something. But the trend of the week, or weeks plural, seems to be whistleblowers. Hey, Secret Service, let's get some brave whistleblowers to come forward and blow this thing open.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you would think, are they just trying to delay to figure out a strategy of what to do with the person that this is? If it's Hunter, maybe. Are they just looking to buy time so they can, say, oh, he has a problem, we're getting him help, we address the issue? Do you think that's what's going to happen? That's where they're going to head with it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows what they're thinking? They're just thinking, please go away. We want any headline from this one, narcotics at the White House. And by the way, not once, not twice, but thrice. They found drugs at the White House 3 times in the Biden presidency. That's finally out there now. What I think they're doing is trying to be the master of hypocrisy. Look, his plea deal, as a former federal prosecutor, I know this, gave him pretrial diversion. When I was a public defender and argued for pretrial diversion, you only got it in narcotics cases if your client was a current drug addict. It is not permissible to give that if your client is a former drug addict. So either Hunter Biden is a drug addict or isn't one. But if he gets pretrial diversion, the rules are pretty simple.
Wow.
He can only get it if he is one.
Kash, I want to go ahead. Terrence, I want to bring you in, but let's listen to Dan Goldman, because I also want to pivot to what happened with James Comer in the hearing. So Dan Goldman is this Democrat who, as you know, led the first impeachment against Trump. And he goes in there yesterday defending the Bidens and gets tripped up because he tees up one of the IRS whistleblowers to say Joe Biden, not Hunter, but Joe Biden lied to the American people. Watch.
And you testified that he said that Hunter told his dad, according to Rob Walker, quote, I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys. Now, let me ask you something. That doesn't sound much like Joe Biden was involved in whatever Hunter Biden was doing with the CEFC if Hunter Biden is telling him that he's trying to do business with them, does it?
No, but it does show that he told his father he was trying to do business, and he was talking.
Well, that is true. Hunter Biden does try to do business. That's correct. Yes. So you not only have no direct evidence connecting Joe Biden to any of Hunter Biden's business deal, you actually had proof that he wasn't involved. That is the proof that you had.
I think it's amazing. And Terrence, jump in with the next question. But Kash, it's like they're trying to defend Biden and they get tripped up, and the whistleblowers say, no, Joe was involved. He was aware of Hunter's business dealings. He lied to us.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. This is a guy who has a track record of basically attacking whistleblowers. I just referred Dan Goldman criminally to the Department of Justice for doing the same to the brave FBI whistleblowers, where he lied and defamed us, our foundation, our charitable endeavors, and the truth. And so we'll see if they take it up. I also referred this Dan Goldman to the House Ethics Committee for investigation. So this guy should be criminally prosecuted. But when you have the ultimate culprit doing your job for you, it shows you one thing. The truth is the truth, and not even the fake news and the two-tier system of justice can run away from them. Everybody now knows Joe Biden is in on it. Thank you, Dan Goldman, for giving us the facts.
Kash Patel,
Wow.
I'm glad you brought up the two-tier justice system because that's something that came up yesterday, and I want to talk a bit more about that, but also, just in case you didn't know, the rap community is really buzzing this morning because now everyone knows who the notorious B.I.G. is. Apparently, it's the big guy there in the White House, Joe Biden. But let's talk about that two-tier justice system because it seems like one of the IRS whistleblowers we heard from yesterday really made it very clear that there should have been felony charges against Hunter Biden, but that the FBI and the DOJ just kind of walked away from that and said, oh, you know what, it's just a misdemeanor.
Look, there's two immutable truths that I've learned, whether I was an investigator, a public defender, a federal prosecutor, intel guy, what have you. One, money does not lie. $17 million worth of financial transactions and bank records do not lie. The American public can see who is receiving money and who is paying it. And here we now know the Chinese affiliates, the CCP and the CFFC, were giving the Bidens millions. Two, when it comes to witness testimony, when you put a witness up on the stand under oath and all they do is tell the truth, they are beyond impeachment. You cannot take away their credibility. You can yell at them like Dan Goldman. You can try to make baseless attacks like Dan Goldman and the rest of them. But the truth is very simple. Joe Biden and his family were in on these bribery schemes from jump, and the two-tier system of justice entered into effect to stop the federal prosecution and investigations into this crime. I mean, literally, you have career IRS whistleblowers who are Democrats who don't like Trump coming out, jeopardizing their entire career and saying, we were blocked by Weiss, by Garland, by Wray. These guys have said it under oath. You know who hasn't? Garland, Wray, and Weiss yet have dared to come in and say these things under oath. They've put out cheeky statements to say deflection and typical Washington speak to absolve themselves of liability. But they're the corrupt actors in this.
Absolutely. All right, let's turn the page to the J6. I first want to put up 821, guys. Let's keep the light on. I'm sorry, 822, my apologies. Gateway Pundit. J6 prisoners still mistreated at the D.C. Gulag. Now sleep deprivation tactics being used. Kash, you've done so much. President Trump has done so much to shine a light on the plight of some of these J6 prisoners. We obviously work together, as everybody knows, on the Justice for All song. Credit to you. And people have been asking us, and we joke about me getting involved in the music business, and I actually did not know a lot about it. The song came out in March, as I recall. It takes about 4 months for the royalties to start coming in. So the first royalties started coming in last week. The first bit I've gotten to our company is roughly $25,000. And so we're announcing right now that as a down payment, the first $25,000 is going to Fight for Cash, your nonprofit. You've done amazing work already. Please walk us through, because this is July. In August, more royalties will be coming in, a lot more than that. And we're going to just keep it rolling month after month to get more to the J6 families directly. But please walk us through your nonprofit, yeah, please, and how people can go to that website, which we have up, to start. Because we've got to make sure that people actually are J6 families and there's no fraud. We want the money to go to the right people. Please tell us what we should do next.
Look, this is a fantastic collaboration of teamwork between Ed, Mailman Media, LJ over at Pyramid Records, and a few anonymous great industry folks, and of course President Trump for having the audacity to lead out and say, no, we have not forgotten the January 6th folks. We are going to raise awareness. We're going to raise money for them. This song, Justice for All, not only is #1 and Billboard is producing the plaques as we speak, but this song is played every single night at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster. Literally, I've seen it in person. People still send me videotapes. I just had dinner with the president a few weeks ago, and this song was played to open dinner. That's how much you care about the prisoners. And turning to the foundation, we found a great team here. And whether it's the Cash Foundation or otherwise, And I'm so happy that this 25,000 is coming in. Ed, we have a board meeting at the Cash Foundation in a couple hours right now to distribute
Wow.
the $25,000 that you are bringing in to January 6 families. And for those of you that are out there and don't know what we're talking about, go to thecashfoundation.com and submit an application. It's super simple for either yourself or you can sponsor a J6 family in need. We've already given away at the Cash Foundation over $50,000 to families in need. And we're going to continue
Great.
to do so to the great works like Justice for All. It's open to everybody. This money is going to go out the door to Jan 6 families today. And as Ed said, look, we wanted to give it out yesterday, but we're at the mercy of the industry. As the money come in, we are glad to be at partners with Ed and LJ and other folks who are just committed to helping January 6 families. And most importantly, the voice that we needed to do it is President Donald J. Trump. He has not forgotten the Jan 6 families, and he has not forgotten their disparate treatment by the two-tier system of justice. We're not just raising money, we're raising awareness. There's a case heading to the Supreme Court from the January 6th contingent about obstruction of justice charges. I think we should keep an eye on that. I think you're going to see it reversed and thrown
Love
out.
it.
And that affects hundreds of Jan 6ers.
And by the way, on social media, all kinds of people will attack President Trump and say he's going to grift this money. He's not touching any of this money. He donated his time to be part of the song.
Beautiful.
That's what he did. He said, I want the money to go to the families. And that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
And I want to mention the song is Justice for All. You can still download and stream it. And the more you download and stream it, by the way, on Apple, Amazon, and Spotify, the more money will go to J6 families. But Tom Homan and I, who's worked with President Trump, have also set up a nonprofit, Justice for All, and we're going to give some of the money there as well. But the first bit is going to you, Kash, and your foundation, because you've already done great work and you had such a big part of the song. So anyway, we wanted to
Beautiful.
announce that.
It's
So
great.
Good stuff.
And
Kash
we're going to
Patel?
have a cool check to post that later.
I can't wait. We'll do a blown up check. Have a good board meeting. Let's start getting it to the J6 families.